guest bedroom, but it still had the piano. And that was kind of relevant because they still wanted to practice play the piano, but it was in the space of the guest bedroom. How would these two occupations occur in the same room? And so that was a grandiose interpretation of the commission, which was really, we don't really want to ask Richard Murphy to sort out our wardrobes in our bedroom. Could you have a look at this? Oliver, you're his junior. And being a first commission, we went through loads of references for how could we find an architectural solution to this. And I've just edited this down to two. One is this image of St. Jerome in his study, one of many images of St. Jerome translating the Bible in his study. This the comfort of the room for an individual within the comfort of his collective community of the monastery, with the safety of the world safely in the distance. And this is an idea of centralising the importance of a bed. Beds which have rather demoted in status from the high point, of Louis XIV, perhaps, where he received his guests in bed. This was a nice way of making this commission seem very, very significant. And the variant on the Orkney chair, a Shetland chair I saw in the Museum of Scotland about 10 years ago, which I liked as a sort of pocket-like space, perhaps giving us shelter to the sitter from the drafts in the croft, and also having the function of having a pocket space for a significant book. Probably the patriarch sits on the family Bible. This is a significant chair. So our proposal played with these references and others to create a sort of a niche pocket-like seat, so that the listener could listen to the pianist and could keep the libretti tucked in little book spaces inside the seat. The bed itself is up 3 or 4 steps, 2 or 3 steps, and the steps themselves are drawers for the guests, for linen and the guests' clothes, and these are covers that hinge away from the corner. And then I've got 4 or 5 projects I want to show you, but before I tell you a bit about the summer school. And I've chosen this one, another early commission for us. By contrast, it's in a building that perhaps wouldn't obviously be loved, unlike those suburban houses. It's a Ford car repair garage off Gayfield Square in Newtown, and it just goes to show you how much value one can place on the building there, which isn't obviously beautiful. This is the garage. And working with Susanna Beaumont, the artist, the architectural critic, she was a Scotsman and the list, she said that Dr. Fisher, very much as a pioneer, it went in the emerging art market for contemporary Scottish artists. We wanted to keep the visible, the original, even if it was as low status as a garage. So we treated the walls themselves much like canvases, a sort of a triptych of blank canvases facing a 4th side, which with the sliding folding doors of the gallery. So the city itself was the 4th canvas. Never realised the glazed screen that was done for a budget of about £25,000, the whole thing. But the doors could still, the original sliding doors could still be opened for a summer opening. You can see how the screen walls conceal the kitchenette, the loo, and the office, a small exhibitions room. That one's just a line to the wall, and that's the opening to the street. And it's all supported by a nice. The rest of the space was used as artist studios. And interestingly, it lasted 10 years, and I think it's interesting to reflect on permanence, you know, because social price does, and I think he tells us that, you know, well, the building shell itself has existed, but the interior occupations change. Let's talk about much better than all this over here. Or maybe trigger interaction later on. This is a commission which Mark has been working on a lot in the office, triggered from an article in the Evening News, just a few column inches, explaining that some benefactor in the city, 3 years later, we still don't know who it is, wants to remain anonymous, wants to fund a £3 million capital arts project, and there were bids were sent in, and we teamed up with the College of Art, and we were shortlisted the last three to get this funding. And the College of Art has a very significant collection of plaster casts, which are rather spread around the college in all sorts, higgledy-piggledy, supporting screens, rather unloved, but very significant, and they're getting research grants to restore them. But along with that use, they recognise that the college kind of rather needed a front room to display the work of its students, and it has a very lovely introverted cloister-like quality with the courtyard, until very well until you come to show things off, show off the work of the students. And so, after a lot of discussion about where would be the best place to put a gallery, we settled on the space in front of the Hunter building, William Spronson's Hunter building. And so this which of course is a space that's not well used at all. I mean, it's just this car park. The building seems intentionally set back, perhaps because of its civic austerity. It kind of needs a certain distance to stand back from it, or it's either that or to do with the proposed widening of Morrison Place. But then a self-imposed question emerges, I suppose, about how do you place one building in front of another? How about a gallery in front of a significant building like this? And we decided that the building really should be more like a ground plane that kind of emerges and does other things, like rises up and becomes the actual ground level of the building. Because instead of this rather flimsy staircase, we felt the building could do with its own plinth, and that we could occupy that plinth. We could ramp up onto it, and we could rupture the plinth with a sort of shard of glass that allows people to glimpse, well, look into the gallery space from the street, from the passing buses. And in a similar vein, that led to a commission to look at the printmaker's workshop, and so it's putting very carefully placed interventions to allow it to do much more with its volume. I'm going to step back from work we've done in Edinburgh, which is relatively limited, to things that have interested us outside the city. This is a lead up to the description of our project in Inverness, where we really wanted to, at the Highland Housing Fair, where we wanted to consider what would a real true off-grid home be like. An off-grid, not really off the electricity, off the gas main, but actually off the road network. A sort of idealised house where